Hey guys, this is my review on Spectacular Spider-Man Season 2. Alright, I will say both Season 1 Spectacular Spider-Man Season 1 and 2 are both, as the title goes, but episodes spectacular. Season 2 was a bit more crazy because they showed, and actually, I think that is a Spider-Man show has ever shown like a first time a bad guy has outnamed Peter Parker in a Spider-Man cartoon, because Spectacular Spider-Man, his identity gets told to the world at the Daily Bugle because of Eddie Brock now being Venom again, because of at the start of season 2, Peter had a nightmare where Venom has come back, and even what's worse than the nightmare, Peter is falling, but the Venom ooze is crawling onto him. So Peter has a bit of like paranoia anxiety, I guess, because he fears if Venom comes back, he needs to figure out how to beat him a second time. Because if we all saw the ending of Spectacular Spider-Man Season 1, Peter couldn't manage to outmaneuver Venom at all because Venom is faster, stronger, and because Peter wore the symbiote suit, Venom can not trigger Peter's spine sense, which gives Peter a huge disadvantage over Eddie. So what Peter did is manipulate the symbiote of its feelings, because the symbiote still cares for Peter because it wanted to be reunited with its first host, or as in he quotes it, first love. In fact, in some of the episodes, you see Eddie just appearing and then disappearing, so Peter can see that Eddie's doing this to paranoid Peter enough to trick him by laying him where he buried the symbiote, which somehow actually works. And Venom comes back, tries to ruin Spider-Man's reputation, and by doing that, also at some point trying to cure Peter of his spider powers. So when they believe he is Spider-Man, he can't defend himself because Eddie stole the gene cleanser, that antidote that Peter developed to cure Dr. Kurt Connors from the Lizard. Eddie stole one from Empire State, or no, at Dr. Connors' lab at ESU, and tried to force it down Spider-Man's throat, but unannounced the Spider-Man Flash technically saved his life by distracting Venom long enough so Peter could get the gene cleanser and then force it down to Eddie's throat. Which, I gotta point this out, I didn't think it possible that the gene cleanser can make Eddie not be a host to the symbiote. Like, okay, how the hell does that work? If I ever go to a Comic Cons and I just happen to meet any of the people who work on Spectacular Spider-Man, that'd be a good question to ask. Um, the season 2 finale, I will say it had somewhat dark moment because of how Norman explains his plans to destroy Spider-Man a little bit, but also tricking him to believe that he was not the Green Goblin. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. That iteration of Norman Osborn I fucking hate, because why would you flame your own biological son? That right there is fucked up. And I'm just sad at the end Peter couldn't be with Gwen, because Harry is now using to be manipulated because of his during grief. Because they don't think Norman is dead, but we know at the end of season 2 he isn't. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say this. Disney Plus, I know Sony owns the rights to the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon series because it was their series, but maybe Disney can work out a deal saying to Sony Entertainment, hey, we would like to put the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon show on Disney Plus, and if you agree to our terms, wherever we set it to, we will allow you to make a third season, because To be honest, they had plans for a third season, and we don't get a chance to see it because of that was during the time where Disney did not own the rights to Marvel. But then after season 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man, they somehow did. So I would like to see if somehow Sony and Disney could talk to an agreement at some point. If they could somehow put the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon series onto Disney Plus, and then saying, "Hey, we'll give you guys a third season if you guys still want to make it." Because I think Josh Keaton said he would love to return to being Spider-Man. And I bet he was kind of happy to voice a version of Spider-Man again when he got to voice Ultimate Spider-Man for the Shattered Dimension game. Well, that, and if you played the Shattered Dimensions on DS, he is the only voice actor who voiced the Amazing Spider-Man on that version. Unless you play Edge of Time on the other version. But, yeah, I love Spectacular Spider-Man Seasons 1 and 2. They were spectacular. And I hope maybe at some point someone could either, like, at some point Disney will say, "Hey, let's give the people what they want, a third season of Spectacular Spider-Man." Who knows? But, yeah, I would just like to see if it's possible in the future there will be a third season. If not, fan-made seasons are okay. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Later.